Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spooky Storytime, episode 6. Per usual, we're gonna wait for my friend to jump on. There she is.
Is this thing on?
Is it? You tell me, bitch.
Oh, looks like it.
Hold on, I try to fix myself. I think that's good. I need, to stand this shit up. I wonder if I can lift this. It won't stay. Oh, wow. It is what it is. You're gonna get half of me today.
That's fine. Love the necklace.
Thank you. Actually, my boss gave this to me at our photo shoot.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so let me actually go live on Facebook as well because I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I was waiting for you, so let me just click the button.
Do your thing.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very tired.
Are you tired? I'm actually drinking today. I made margaritas.
Oh. I mean, this is a margarita. It's always a margarita. It's pre-made.
All right, perfect. So we are live on Facebook as well. Hello, everyone.
Everyone.
Are you on the computer?
Do
you want
to?
Are you gonna go on Facebook to check it out, or do you want me to just read comments?
Oh, I was about to say I could just go on my laptop.
You could, bitch. Bear with us, everyone.
On.
It is.
Give me a second. Oh, I have to sign in.
But yes, sign the fuck in. Maybe
Right.
I can figure out how to lift this shit up.
Oh, damn it.
I wonder if I put glue on it. Fuck it. Y'all get my double chance today.
Okay, how do I find your live?
It should be on my Facebook page.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's super laggy.
Is it? Yeah, it's usually behind a little bit.
This is weird.
I know. Don't look at the computer, because it will be behind.
I was gonna say, watching myself 20 seconds ago.
Right?
That's weird.
I got this in my teeth and everything. Thank you. Connor Swan says we look incredible. Thank you, beautiful. Hello, everyone
Thank
else.
you, Connor. I go back and forth.
And I'm actually saving this too. So I'm recording all of this.
Yeah, save the Facebook version.
Yeah. Because if you see on Facebook, I have a whole ass PowerPoint, bitch. I was prepared.
Wow.
I didn't want to read shit, so I just wrote things in my own words. Yes. So welcome, everyone, to episode 6 of Spooky Story Time. I love that none of us wear nails, because why?
I need new nails, but I don't feel like gluing nails on for this. I'll just edit them in when I take pictures.
Right?
So draw them on one by one.
There's no point. So what do we have planned today? What are we talking about today?
So today I decided to take a different route.
Okay.
I have one ghost story. It's really long, so it kind of makes up for it only being one. Then I want to tell a couple spooky cryptid stories.
Ooh, we love
that I
that.
found really interesting. So.
Perfect. So what I have a couple things for you guys. I can
imagine you made a PowerPoint.
Right, bitch? She's a PowerPoint queen now. I heard it's a trend.
Just manager.
You know. So I'm gonna give you guys a whole presentation. But no, so I got really into all the the folklore, Latin America stuff. So I have 3 things I'm gonna talk about, which is 3 of my childhood monsters that I grew up with. And they were based off Latin America or whatever, so I will talk about those, and I have pictures and stuff. Also, if we have enough time, I have a video that we can all watch together, which is actually the 5 spookiest videos caught on camera that we can
Only
watch.
people on Facebook are going to be able to see
But
that.
yeah, so if you are on Instagram, I suggest you go to my profile, an Instagram profile, and click on the link, and you will see the live where you can watch the videos and see all the pictures that I'm gonna put up. So go do that. So you get the whole
Making things
experience.
all complicated.
You know what? We're streaming on 2 plays at once. We got this. We're expanding.
We're making it work.
Huh?
I said we're making it work. I'm excited to see how this like turns out.
Bitch. And then I'm also gonna save all of this and then probably upload it to YouTube.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So, bitch, get us started. Tell us your first story.
All right. So I'm gonna tell the ghost story first because it's really long, so we can get it out of the way. It's about somebody's grandmother or great-grandmother who opened a portal to hell and cursed all the women in her family.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty good one. I'll get started. This story makes me so nervous telling. I feel like I'm exposing darkness every time I speak about it. My grandmother invited possibly the devil himself into her home and brought a curse onto all of the females in our family after her. I have always wondered if this is the reason for all of the misfortune in my life, or why every home I've lived in, something has followed. Let me start from the beginning of the story. All of what I am about to tell are accounts of my mother and the daughters of my great-grandmother, which are my grandmother, my mom's mom, and her sister, my great-aunt. For as long as my grandma and aunt could remember, my great-grandma had a crystal ball, a Ouija board, and a pendulum, all on her den table. She was a bruja, which is witch in Spanish. She would hold seances, and pregnant women would come to her to determine the sex of their babies. Over 100 pregnant women came to her for this service. Out of those 100, she was never wrong. They all had what she said they would. She charged $2 for this. The year is 1967. My grandmother was 14 and my great-auntie was 13. They were wild girls who liked to go out with boys, skip school, and come home late after partying. Throughout the years, my great-aunt, who was the main target of my great-grandmother's mischief, experienced several strange phenomena linked to my great-grandmother, from a white veil coming down from the sky and almost suffocating her after great-grandma found out she lost her virginity, to a black coffin appearing on my great-grandmother's porch when my great-grandmother got mad at my aunt for not answering the phone for her. There's so many other strange things, but those were the very odd and unexplainable. However, none of these small accounts would compare to the night when my great-grandmother went from doing a little magic to full-on inviting darkness itself into her home.
Oh, not darkness.
What? Darkness.
Not darkness, bitch. Oh, no.
Darkness. One summer night in 1967, my grandmother and her great-aunt came home at 2 a.m., drunk and loudly giggling and stumbling into the home. When coming in, my great-grandmother was sitting in her den waiting for them. She was furious, but they laughed and told her to just go back to bed and get over it. Outraged and feeling like she had no other way of controlling her daughters, she fell to her knees and began praying out loud to the devil himself for him to teach her daughters a lesson and make them behave. They didn't take her seriously, mocking her as they stumbled to the bedroom they shared and began changing into their night dresses and getting into their side of the beds. Quickly falling asleep, 3 a.m. approached. The witching hour.
Well, not 3 a.m. We don't like 3 a.m.
But 3 a.m. About an hour went by. My great-aunt began hearing my great-grandmother's brother, who lived with them, coming down the hall, which was odd because his bedroom was on the other side of the house and there was no reason for him to be in the hallway. She knew it was him because he suffered from a stroke and one of his legs dragged behind him. So she heard him coming a footstep and a drag over and over until it was outside of their open bedroom door. Laying on her side with her back to the door, she called out in Spanish, "Tio, what's wrong? Do you need something?" No response. As she tries to turn around and sit up, she realizes she can't move. A sense of pure evil filled the pitch-black room. Panicking, now she suffers for over 30 minutes, paralyzed, as she feels something standing right behind her. Fully knowing this wasn't her Tio, it was something malicious. She began to feel her cover slowly pull off her bed, and her nightgown began to be pulled up, stopping at her shoulders. A quick slap to her back and an immense burning pain. She jolted to life and is able to move again, bursting into tears as she jumps out of bed. My great-aunt now in hysterics, starts trying to wake up my sleeping grandma next to her. She awakes and instantly starts freaking out and uncontrollably crying as well. The whole time this was happening to my great aunt, my grandmother was having a dream that she died and went to hell. In her dream, which was only about an hour, she spent years in hell suffering. They held each other tightly, but my great aunt's back was hurting so bad. After telling her sister of the experience, she shows her back to my grandma, and on her back was a burn-like lesion in the shape of a goat hoof, with 3 distinct finger-like marks. As if they couldn't be more traumatized by the experience they both had, that mark was all the validation that this was real. Calming down now, my great-grandmother all of a sudden is at their bedroom door, startling them with a loud, menacing laugh. She then spoke the craziest thing. She said, "Oh, my poor girls, did something scare you?" After that day, the house never felt the same. Even if you had all the windows open or all the lights on, it felt dark. Doors would slam, locks would flick back and forth, kitchen doors would open, and silverware would fly out. Even late at night, the piano would play by itself. The house began to rot and fall apart. It stayed in the family on until recently when my great aunt, who inherited the house after my great grandmother passed away, fixed it up and sold it to someone unknowing of all this. My great aunt didn't want to own the house, much less live in it, knowing that there was... This is worded so differently. Let me see.
I believe in you.
Knowing what was there in the events that took place. I mean, how can she forget? She has a hoof-shaped scar on her back to this very day. You see, it should have ended with my great-aunt and great-grandmother, but when she prayed to whatever it was that answered her, she asked for it to teach her daughters a lesson. That means every daughter in our family. After her is included. We have all had terrible relationships with our mothers, and unexplainable things happen to us, from bad luck to paranormal activity. So if you move to the center of New Mexico, be careful, because you might be moving into a home with over a 40-year-old curse and a portal.
Oh,
Ooh,
ooh, spooky! Ew. So not a hoof on her back. It was on her back, right?
It's like a 3-finger shaped hoof.
Oh no, I don't like that. So was it like... So you mentioned that her dress got pulled down, like...
It got pulled up.
It got pulled up. So they was...
like her legs up to her shoulders, so it's like it pulled the dress up and like smacked her in the back.
Oh, like in the back or in the butt?
It's at the back.
Oh, probably the butt. Hello everyone that's joining. Hello Brianna.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
We're all here.
So just so you guys know, I will, when it's my turn to talk, I do have actually a whole ass, like, I have pictures and shit for you guys. So, if you guys go to my page, my Instagram page, and follow the link to my Facebook profile, I'm also live there. I mean, we're also live there, and you can actually see my pictures and things. So if you guys want to do that, so you don't miss the whole experience. Anyways, but that's creepy. Oh no, so she got like Satan and shit on her back and it stayed on her?
Like they fully knew what their mother was capable of.
Oh no.
You know, when she fell to her knees and started praying, they're like, we're gonna go to bed.
Okay, like what the fuck? No ma'am, I would have walked out the house.
Right?
No. Alright bitch, so it's my turn.
Your turn.
So I will be talking about. I'll start with one, and then Razor can tell a different story. So the first one, if you guys are on Facebook, which none of you are, but you're gonna miss out anyways.
I was gonna say, I think I'm the only one tuned into the Facebook.
It's okay. We can all watch this on YouTube later, and you'll be able to see the whole experience.
Yes.
Okay. You're able to see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna talk about this motherfucker that is known as El Coco. So if you are of Latin American descent or know friends or have friends that are Latin American or Hispanic, I'm sure you've heard of this motherfucker. So this bitch is actually, he's like the Latin American boogeyman, basically. So this fool, I have lovely pictures for you guys to see on
El
Facebook.
Coco.
El Coco. You know, with a name like El Coco, I would not be scared. I know him as something different. My part of Latin America knows him as something different. I was raised to know him as El Cucuy, which is still not a really
Oh, okay.
terrifying.
That one's familiar.
Does that sound familiar?
Like El Coco.
Like, not Coco. There's a whole movie,
Black
bitch.
chocolate or what?
So this motherfucker originated from Spain, and he is known throughout the lands by many different names, such as El Cuco, El Cucuy, El Viejo del Saco, which means the man with the bag, I think, saco, something like that. So he is known for taking children away in his bag for misbehaving. So he was used as a way to scare all the children to behaving. But he has an origin. He comes from actual, history. So the legend says that his story is actually originated from a man named Francisco Ortega, also known as El Moruno, who used to drink the blood of children to cut his tuberculosis. So yeah, so very you. So this man would go to kids and drink their blood because he wanted to cure his tuberculosis.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, and apparently he was...
Come on, Hillary Clinton.
Okay, he was instructed by a curandera, which is like a witch doctor kind of thing in like the Latin American culture. She told him, if you drink kids' blood, your tuberculosis will go away. And
I like how we have a theme so far.
Yeah, so if you have children, scare them with this motherfucker, with El Cucuy, or El Coco, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. He's essentially the boogeyman. So this, he's not fun. He's not. You don't want to come across this man. And as a child, I was very terrified of him.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
Mm-hmm. Kind of scary. But if any of my Latin American people out there know of this, if you know him by something else, let me know, because I would love to know what you guys call him. Because everyone calls it something different. But yeah, that's my first bitch. I can go my first 3 and then we can watch a video if you guys want. But that's all up to you.
Okay.
Do you have a story for us, Miss Razor, before I move on to my next bitch?
I do. Let's see. So now we're going to be moving into my cryptid stories. Which if you've been watching, I'm sure you could have guessed that this was coming. Because, bitch, I love my cryptids. I have to find the one that I wanted. Okay, so this first one is about the Mothman,
Ooh.
which I'm totally enthralled with. Here we go. You will never believe what I saw one very cold, dry November night.
No, tell me.
My family and I moved back into a new house upon a hill on a little back road in the very small town of Fort Gay. WV, Fort Gay.
Hey, yes, queen.
Sits right on the east side of Kentucky. The population of my town then was probably just a couple thousand. My family and I were unpacking. We had not yet pulled the furniture in its rightful places, and everything was still in boxes. Overwhelmed with working all day, I retired around 11 p.m. I put my little brother on the couch and I took his bed, since my bed wasn't put together yet. His room faces the front of the house. His windows are around 20 to 20 feet or so off the ground. I was looking out the windows when I saw it. It stood about 7 feet tall. I had no idea what it was, but I was frozen. I had never been that scared in all my life. All I could do was lay there and just stare at this thing. It was sitting in a tree about 50 feet or so off the ground, about 50 feet from the house across the yard. It felt like an eternity. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even blink. It had big, red, bright eyes looking dead into my face. I finally worked up enough courage to close my eyes and put my head under the covers, when all of a sudden this thing smacked the window. I went through the house screaming. There's something outside, I was crying. My mom and dad looked at me and said, "What's wrong with you? It looks like you've seen a ghost." My face was snow white. I said, "I don't know what it was, but please, Daddy, Don't go
Oh,
outside.
Daddy, yes.
I begged and I begged. He came back in and I said there was nothing
too.
out there. I kept screaming and saying, yes, there is. Yes, there is. When I explained to them what I saw and how I felt, they said I was crazy. But to this day, I will not go outside by myself. And even in the day, someone still has to watch me to my car. I have heard some pretty crazy things going on up on that road, but I never expected to experience anything myself. My husband and I went to the theaters and watched Mothman Prophecies. I was reliving that night all over again. The way they described feeling and what saw was remarkable. My husband looked over at me and said, "Isn't that what you described to me when we first started dating?" I couldn't say a word. After that moment, I knew what I saw. I believed in all heart of hearts I saw the Mothman. It's just a little weird. I only live about 80 miles south of Point Pleasant, which is where the Mothman movie takes place in.
Oh, really?
Where all that took place 37 years ago. It was exactly 32 years to the month when I saw it. But the Mothman movie is like based on real events.
Is it? I've never seen that movie.
I mean, so,
I feel like
yeah, it's like loosely based on real events.
So tell me what, because I've heard about the Mothman, but I don't know the history behind it. So like, illuminate me. Like, explain to me who, like, what is it like a person? Is it like a
So no one
creature?
really knows what the Mothman is. It's when people see it, it's this big, it's like a humanoid moth-looking creature, and it's very big. It's got big red eyes, and it's black and fuzzy. And apparently, when you see it, sometimes you'll see like this big devastating event happen, but you don't know when it's supposed to happen till it happens, really.
Ooh.
So you're stuck with knowing of this, catastrophic event, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So kind of like an omen. Kind of like.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Oh. But does he kill anyone? He don't kill nobody, does he?
I haven't seen any stories of the Mothman killing people, but there is, I don't remember what state it's held in. I want to say it might be Pennsylvania, but there's an actual, festival that they have every year in honor of Mothman.
Interesting.
It's like a huge thing. I want to go sometime.
Bitch, let's go. Let's go as dressed
I'm
as
not
Mothman.
down. Let's do this. Get some cute Mothman merch.
Okay. I mean,
Mothman has merch, but I don't.
why don't we have merch? Why doesn't Razor have merch?
Because I'm poor and nobody wants it.
You know what? You're right. Everyone has t-shirts nowadays. I don't know.
I had stickers for a while. Those sold out pretty well.
Did they? It must be nice that people like you, because people wouldn't like me enough to buy stickers off of me.
Everyone hates you.
I mean, yeah. To be
Even I
honest,
hate you a little bit.
everyone hates
No, I
me a little bit.
I love you. I think more people should love you.
It's just I'm painted like a bitch, and I
See,
am a
Regina
bitch.
3 years ago, though, was a bitch. I don't know what her problem was.
I was a fucking bitch 3 years ago. Nobody liked me, and I think that it just kind of like it carried down through the years. Oh wow, I dug my own grave. But I'm a nice person now, I think. All right, so now that we are on the topic of cryptids and all these, what the fuck, my hair, of all these spooky creatures, let's move on to my next spooky creature, which is El Chupacabra.
Oh, yes.
Right? Diva says I'm still a bitch. You're right. So El Chupacabra. So if you've ever liked spooky stuff, you know what the fuck El Chupacabra is. I don't even know if I have to explain it. But here's some lovely pictures on Facebook being streamed of some of my favorite drawings of the Chupacabras or illustrations because they're spooky as fuck.
You know what? I swear I've seen something similar to this.
I think it's out there somewhere, low key.
Around me though.
Not
I remember I was in the car with my friend. Yeah, I was driving to her house. It's around the corner from her house. And this is in Ontario, on Mount.
Well, I'm sure this shit travels. I mean,
but it was this big hunched over dog, and it looked like it had mange. It could have just been a dog with mange, but it
it could have.
was gnarly looking. It was like big and hunched over, and it had like a really weird shaped face.
I don't like that. I'm glad you're
We
alive.
like saw it, we like went by it, and we were like, what the fuck was that? And we looked back and it was gone.
Ew, I don't like that. So you might
It
have
was
seen a
really
chupacabra.
weird. It was like it was there and then it wasn't.
Ooh, spooky.
I forgot about that. She was here not too long ago. Too bad she's not here anymore.
Maybe he's
Hi, Sahara.
Hello, Sahara. Hello, beautiful. Thank
You're
you.
beautiful.
She's a beautiful one. We're fucking.
I love her.
We're trolls.
She's such an icon.
Right?
She's
All right.
more sexy.
So, El Chupacabra. So, this motherfucker originated from Puerto Rico. And then it started, like, trickling down into, like, Miami, into Florida, and all that stuff because they were actual sightings of El Chupacabra in the U.S. And there were, like, videos and stuff, but I couldn't find those. I tried really hard, but they said there was videos, but I was like, show me the receipts. I don't know where these videos are.
Where are they?
Where are they? I want to see these things. I want to investigate. So basically, El Chupacabra literally means goat sucker in Spanish. So that is what he's known for. He sucks the blood of your livestock. So if you have a farm, you're not safe. Hide your farm animals and your wife.
Hide your mom.
Mm-hmm. Hide your mom. Hide your kids, because the chupacabra is gonna chupa them.
No, just your mom.
It's like he's not interested in your kids, just your mother.
Just your mom.
Just your mom. Just your mom. So he terrorizes livestock and destroys them, and so the sightings, say this loosely, started in 1995 back in Puerto Rico, and they kind of like trickle down into all the things, and yeah, so basically this bitch goes around and leaves strange bite marks and kills livestock. So people have said that they find, like, the people who say that experience it or like haven't come across it say that their animals are left with like 3 distinct like bite marks, like three teeth or whatever.
Yeah,
which is really odd.
Find the corpses like drained of all the blood.
Yes, so just drained of all the blood and that's it. So it's like a vampire or something.
It's so weird.
Yeah. So, and of course the descriptions vary throughout Latin America, but this is a funny story. So I used to be really terrified of a chupacabra because when I was a small child, I don't know if this was a dream or if this actually happened, but it was not. But back when I lived in LA, we had a backyard, and I don't know if it was my sister or my dad or somebody, but like it was nighttime. It might have been a dream, low-key, but I don't know. It was nighttime, and like I was trying to get in the door, and like they locked me out, and they locked the door, and they started screaming, "El Chupacabra is behind you," because we had this huge tree, this huge like avocado tree in the backyard. So it was big. It towered over the house. So, there were things up there, like birds and stuff. So there was rustling going on at the same time. They're like, El Chupacabra is behind you. So, like, that's one of the most traumatic things that have ever happened to me as a child. Like, I remember screaming and crying. And I was terrified because I can hear something rustling in the tree. And I was locked out and I was a child.
You had a real Chupacabra experience, though?
It was probably not a real... It was probably a fucking pigeon. But I was fucking terrified, let me tell you.
Why a pigeon?
Because we had a bunch of pigeons that lived in the fucking avocado tree. And it was like rustling, and I was just like, they were probably just trying to scare me, but I will never forget the chupacabra and will always haunt my dreams, because I always think it's going to come from that fucking avocado tree.
It was just a pigeon.
And kill me.
That sounds boring.
But pigeons are also scary. They're terrifying. They're terrifying. So was it a pigeon? Or was it the chupacabra? You let me know.
LOL, probably a fucking
pigeon. You tell me. Y'all, 3 viewers, tell me, was it...
Monica.
Hello, Monica.
Facebook.
She's like our #1 supporter. I love her. Let's like her. She's always watching our stuff. But yeah, so... Do you have another story for me? Or do you want me to talk about my next bitch?
I'll go ahead and tell my next story.
Perfect.
And we'll just go back and forth like we normally do. So this one's just called Forest Cryptid. Nothing in particular. They don't really know what it is. but it's really creepy. It like sent chills up my spine.
Ooh, I love chills. I haven't had anything up my spine in a while. Any volunteers? I'm just kidding. But not really.
My strange story took place on the 26th of September 2009. My church was on a retreat in Indiana in a forest. The place we stayed at was a small building in the center of the forest. We decided that evening to go out and play in the forest with the children. So we came up with a game to play. It was like police. The kids were the police, and we would pick an adult to be the hostage. So when we began the game, we had to find the adult hiding in the forest in the middle of the night. So we started going around the back of the building, and we spotted a tall figure. It had to be at least 6 feet tall, and it was running towards the trees where there was a small open area with tall grass that goes up to your knees. It ran with its arms at its sides, but it stopped at the edge of the tall grass, as if to wait for us to get closer.
So was it Naruto running? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You know, just like with his arms behind his back?
No, I'm thinking it was just like running like straight up with like
Okay, that's creepier. Not Naruto.
That's what I had in my mind at least. Anyway, we chased after it, thinking it was the adult. But when we were finally a few yards away, it dove into the grass and started to crawl very fast, almost snake-like. We got weirded out, but stood there staring at it. When it got across the tall grass, it began to climb a tree. It looked somewhat like a deformed cat-like animal, almost like a deformed cat-like animal when it was climbing. Then a few moments later, a kid yelled, "I see him," and was pointing in an opposite direction. We saw a similar figure running a couple of yards away, so we chased it, but then it vanished behind a tree. Turns out, a few minutes later, we found the adult hiding in the parking lot in front of the building the whole time. So who knows what we saw that night in that forest. At least 15 kids saw the thing with me, so I know I'm not crazy.
What was it? It was you? I can just picture this thing Naruto running for some reason.
But like, I mean, I'm 6'2", he's 6'2". I can run with my arms at my side.
It was Razor.
Run with his arms at the side. It was me.
It was Razor. It was Razor. She's scaring people in Montana. Where was this? Montana, Minnesota, Pennsylvania? Where was it?
I think it was Indiana.
Indiana. If you're from Indiana, why are you white?
No, I grew up in California. That wasn't me. Meaning that I wasn't 6 feet tall.
Do you dream travel? Maybe like you bought a ticket in your dream and like in your sleep and like went to Indiana.
So.
Like.
Astral project to terrorize children.
Just to terrorize children. That sounds like a hobby. In a state where people don't know you.
I mean, shit, if you saw me standing in the corner of you, wouldn't you be terrified?
If I didn't know you and I was walking at night and you were just standing like this in the corner, I would probably shit my pants, yes. Yes, it would. There's a 90% chance I would be scared. Mm-hmm.
Just like...
Yeah, no, see, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, nope.
Wait.
Like that meth I smoked was probably not the business. Yeah, see, no. No. Not in my intoxicated state, no ma'am. No ma'am. I ran out of margarita already. I miss them so mad.
I know, I want to go get more, but like, then I have to go downstairs.
Same. If I was going down the stairs, no ma'am. And blending shit. Anyways. So, spooky creatures. So my last spooky creature for today, everyone. We all know her. We all love her. She's the OG. There is a movie based on her. Welcome to the stage. La Llorona, bitch. I don't know if this is... Oh, it's just hair. I'm not a good woman. Hair's all over my face.
It's okay. I decided to wear a cream lipstick, so I'm like...
Same. Do you see how it's shiny? So it's like sticking? I try to mat it with shadow.
Cream on, and then I put like a glimmer veil over it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty. Excuse me. So La Llorona, everyone. So y'all know who she is. Y'all seen her movie. If you haven't, go watch it. It's not that good, but go watch it anyways.
What if I don't want to?
Then fuck my drag. Or fuck her drag. Because her drag is sickening. She would definitely be cast on Dragula for sure. She gives us this beautiful, like...
She's already been on Dragula, but, like, she's a ghost, so...
She wasn't seen. So La Llorona, she was originated in Mexico, the motherland. I was born there. Don't call ice on me. She was a beautiful woman, as we all are. She was a beautiful woman, and she birthed 2 sons to a nobleman. But this motherfucker, I guess, because he would spend a lot of time away, because he was a traveler or something, he kind of like got over her because, you know, he's a traveler and he's seeing all this like international pussy. So...
Come on, international pussy.
So he was like, I don't want Maria's pussy because she's local. Like, I want some international juice.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but is your Facebook thing still working?
Yes.
Okay.
It's still going.
It's not trouble playing it on my end, so I wanted to make sure.
It's still going on mine. But it's okay. If it doesn't work, I'm saving this whole thing in like HD, so I will upload it later.
Cool.
So, just got out of work. I'm sorry, Miss Most. Don't worry, Maddie Baby Squish. We are going to upload this to YouTube, and I will share the link, and y'all can scroll through it and skip things and watch whatever you want to watch with pictures, etc. So,
they want to watch the whole thing.
So don't fret. Don't fret. We got you. This is like our live recording session. So yeah, so La Llorona, this bitch. So her man, he was over her, but because he did love his kids, he would give all the attention to his kids. So she was like, I need some attention. This is some shit I would do. She's like, So she takes her kids and she drowns them, of course, because what else do you do? You know, you drown those motherfuckers. Fuck them kids. So she drowned them.
That's what I live by.
So she drowned them in the Santa Fe River, according to research and science or whatever. But yeah, she drowned these motherfuckers. So when she died, when she go up to heaven, they was like, no ma'am, you can't come in here because you drown your kids. And they told her that she couldn't enter until she found the 2 souls of her lost children, which she drowned. So now she wanders the streets crying for her children. And she takes any children she can find. So little kids are scared of her. I was scared of her.
I remember growing up, and I had a lot of friends like being scared of her.
I mean, like, just like the thought of it, because okay, so the town where I lived as a child, because I was born in Mexico and I lived in a town, is this very, 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 very small town. Like literally everyone knows each other. There's like so many, you know. There's like, you can count the streets because there's so many little streets, you know. Very religious town. Like my house was at the edge of the town, so it was like my house, and then there was like fields. You know, fields and stuff. Like we didn't even have a sidewalk. Like the streets were made of cobblestone. Like that's where I come from. I'm Port Spike. So yeah. I mean now it's upgraded or whatever because, you know, gentrification, but yeah, very that. So like we would always hear stories that like, you know, things in the wood, not the woods, the fields, like the cornfields and like the mountains and stuff, and like Llorona was always around. So I was always fucking terrified of this bitch because I would hear shit. It was probably like, I don't know, peacocks or birds or some type of animal because we had farm, but there was always some type of crying. And it was very scary. So I grew up very traumatized of this bitch. And then I watched the movie, and I mean the movie has cute jump scares, but as the whole I'm just like,
anyone can do jump scares though.
Yeah, it had cute jump scares, but as the movie, and I don't recommend the movie. If you guys like the movie, let me know what you think of the movie if you haven't watched it. But fucking pitches at it again. It's the birds, bitch. The birds have been traumatizing my whole life.
You're always like, oh, it could have been this, or it could have just been like a bird.
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. Was it a ghost or was it a pigeon?
Fucking pigeons.
It's a fucking pigeon, bitch.
Sure. Just fucking pigeons.
Fucking pigeons. I think that applies to everyone. But yeah. And that's what I have for today, you guys. I didn't have any actual stories because usually the stories I find on Reddit, they're grammatically incorrect and it drives me insane. So, but yeah, I mean, do you have another story for us? But I do have a video for everyone that we can all watch together.
I do. Well, I have a few stories if you want me to keep going.
Go for it.
Let's see. Hold on, I have to go to it now. This one was pretty weird. So this is called the Cornfield Creature.
Ooh, see, I was just talking about cornfields. It's like we planned it.
Right?
It's like we planned it.
We're very on brand today. I used to work at a cheese factory on the edge of a cornfield in southwestern Minnesota. Did you say something about Minnesota too?
Yeah, I did.
Regina's psychic, you guys. I don't know if you know this.
It's the tequila. The tequila makes me psychic.
I can see that. There were a series of days in the summer of 04 or 05 where it was so hot that the milk being delivered to us in trucks would evaporate before we got it. It made work easy. The dearth of milk denied us any actual labor, but management wouldn't let us not come to work, so we would show up and mess around all day. I have like a hair.
Story of my life. There's a hair in my pussy too. It's been itching at me this whole time.
Okay. I was working nights at the time. It was 2 or 3 a.m. and I was out on the loading dock watching boats or bats fly around. The floodlights, boats. Watching boats fly around?
Boats? This bitch was high already. I don't know if I believe her.
No. I'm watching that. Bats in the floodlights. But yeah, she was watching bats fly around in the floodlights because I liked being out in the cool night air. The corn was about as high as my shoulder, so about 5'10". As I was watching the bats, I looked down at the edge of the cornfield. Something was moving there. It was the size of a small child and very, very skinny. Pale with something that looked like a head of a straight black hair. Hold on, I have to read that again. That makes no sense.
Straight black bear? It wasn't a gay bear?
Hair. It says hair.
Hair.
Like hair.
Interesting. Maybe like
Maybe
a
like a rabbit?
Rabbit? Yeah, I think it's a rabbit.
I don't know. It smelled like hair.
It's probably a rabbit.
It moved in sort of a jerky gait, like someone dancing the robot badly. It moved in chunks, legs, then hips, then torso, shoulders, neck, and finally head. It was looking back into the cornfield, or at least I felt like it was. I felt prickly all over. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a heron or something at first, but it looked too much like a person. It didn't move like a person though. Gradually, step by step, it moved towards me. Letting my curiosity better my fear, I moved toward the edge of the dock, which was raised a few feet off the ground. When I got within a few feet of the edge, the thing looked at me. I was paralyzed. I could have ran, but I was stuck somewhere between terrified and intrigued. It moved its face, still pointed at me. It ratcheted its body in that disconcerting, jerky movement towards the cornfield and went into it. I tried to watch where the field moved as it passed, but the corn remained perfectly still. I noticed that all the crickets were silent. After a few minutes, nothing happened. I stood out there for an hour, but it never came back. I never saw it again.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, that's really weird.
So was it a rabbit?
No, so he said it looked like a small child. Like, you know...
Fuck them kids.
Wide,
It's a theme.
size and
Fuck them
everything.
kids.
But yeah, no, the only thing that confuses me is pale with something that looked like a head of straight black hair. Oh, okay, so what he's saying is like it had straight black hair.
Oh, so not a rabbit. Got it.
I know, I was like... I've had too much drink, and these contacts are making my head hurt. Like, what?
This one, I'm sure this eye's gonna be infected later because I don't think I cleaned this properly. But we'll see.
Yeah, I can feel like a headache, like coming out from my eyes and going back. I'm in like full drag too. I'm like corseted, padded. And
Are you?
everything,
Why
so
are you?
I'm
Okay, now you gotta show us. Now you gotta do this whole 360.
Okay.
Let's appreciate the skinny
All the way
bitch.
back.
Ooh, this dress.
Isn't it cute? I got this at work. I saw it last year and I was like, oh, this is cute. But not for that amount. So it was on sale finally and I was like, this is...
Oh, that's cute. She cute. I'm wearing shorts under this, so I'm not showing you guys my body. She's padded and everything. I haven't worn pads since we went into quarantine, which was February, January, March. I haven't worn pads since March. I don't know where they're at.
Bro, I'm in so much pain. I'm not used to it anymore, and I'm in like a hot, stuffy room.
Oh no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I've got a breastplate on. It's a lot. Right
you have a
now.
breastplate under there?
Yeah.
You do too much. You do too much. I have my.
I want to take some really nice pictures after this.
Oh, you're right. I don't give a fuck anymore.
You know this. I try to go all out.
You do.
Just
You
for
do.
the pictures afterwards.
That's why you'll be successful and I won't, but it's okay. So, I have no more stories for you motherfuckers, so I'm actually gonna close out of there. So now it's a black screen. I do have... I cannot with you. Are you on the Facebook? Can you watch this video or should I not play it?
I'm still saying that there is trouble playing the video. Let me go to your page and see what it's doing.
Because we can at least watch the first one and call it a night. So you can take your pictures because I know it's hot in there.
Hi, David.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, it looks stuck. Oh no, there we go. Never mind. There's my ass fucking around.
There it is. Perfect. So let me project this to all my you Facebook people. So if you are here on Instagram, I recommend you going. What?
Do you have the screen up?
I should now.
Okay. I gotta wait for it to like buffer through.
It's like 20 seconds behind usually. But yeah, so while that shows up for Razor, everyone, go on my Instagram profile and click the link to go to my Facebook page, and you can see us streaming this whole live as well as YouTube, where we're going to show you a spooky video. And we're going to talk about it. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. It's okay.
Okay, so I'm going to actually pause my music. You're going to see my Instagram.
Real ghosts caught on camera. 5 scary videos.
So we're only going to watch the first one, unless we want to watch all 20 minutes of it, but I don't think we have time for all 20 minutes of it.
I don't know. How much? Well, it's 9:54, so we probably have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, so we can watch the first one. Or the first 2. So you're probably a little bit behind, but tell me when it's done for you. So let's play, everyone.
Okay. I'll let you know when it starts.
It started for me already.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. The Thing in the Basement.
Ooh, The Thing in the Basement.
Blake Smith claimed that he often heard strange sounds coming from his basement, and occasionally even heard the door to the basement rattling.
Okay, it started.
One night, he gathers his nerve, grabs a camera, and goes to investigate.
Looks like there's someone there, but a bit too much of a to go down, so here I go. I hear something. Hello? Hello? Oh, jeez. Alright. Hello?
Hello?
I don't like this.
Hello, Mr. Obama?
I don't like
Who
this.
that?
Hello?
Who in here? Hello?
Hello?
Is anyone here?
They're not gonna answer you.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, they're not gonna say anything.
It's on the door. Oh, Jesus. Are those... Hello? Oh.
Hi, Marilla.
Holy That's too much for me. Too much for me. Jesus.
After the first basement encounter,
I
things
didn't see
get
nothing.
even more bizarre as Blake starts to hear strange crying coming from downstairs on a regular basis.
Alright, I live alone again, and, I hear what sounds like crying coming from the basement. I even called the police. They found wet footprints down there when I ran down there, so I don't know what the... Alright. Let's just... You stay up here.
Not the cat.
It was just a cat.
Imagine.
It was a pigeon.
The fucking pigeon.
Oh, my alcohol gave me a headache.
Hello?
Oh, did it? What did you drink?
I mean, it didn't help my headache from the night wake. It's alcohol's fault.
On another night, more crying.
I'm trying to hear what these people are hearing. I don't hear shit.
Right. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. I don't hear anything.
I hear the crying, but that sounds fake.
Hello?
It's the Llorona.
It's Razor.
Hello?
There better be a jump scare in here. I'm gonna be mad.
Not long after these videos, Blake claimed that the strange paranormal activity in his basement had stopped just as mysteriously as it had started. A little over a year ago, Blake seems to have left YouTube completely. He's not posted to his
Yeah,
channel since.
he was high for
So
sure.
was Blake Smith's basement haunted by some bizarre crying entity? Or
Which one?
was it all just a hoax?
Flying everywhere at the end.
What did you think of that show?
That was good. I didn't get to finish it though,
It's
because I
so
forgot, and like the time you were renting it had passed. So I was
good.
like,
Oh, you're
well.
right. I'll have to buy it so we can all watch it. Well, that video was trash. If you guys watched it on Facebook, well, it'll be on YouTube later. But
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. It's like real ghosts caught on camera. Where?
where are they at?
Where?
Show me the receipts. I don't see shit.
Not this.
Not that. I mean, I heard the crying for like a second, but
I'll be honest. I can hardly hear anything because I don't want to like put the volume way up on my laptop and have it be.
all I heard was it's too much, it's so much, and a moaning porn. Yeah, that's actually, we're watching porn actually.
I was gonna say earlier, it sounds like porn on Instagram.
It is a twink, so.
Not a
cannot.
cute one though, so don't get your hopes up, you guys.
I mean, I'm so desperate nowadays, I don't even care what they look like anymore.
I can't relate.
I'm just a hoe. I'm just a hoe. Y'all heard it first here. I'm a hoe.
I mean, not if you're not getting any action.
True. I'm a hoe in my dreams and in theory, not in practice because I'm too scared of COVID.
She's got like a gaping hole while she's asleep.
Okay. I'm gonna move this there. Well,
Regina Gaping Hole Void.
Gaping Hole Void. Okay, welcome to the stage, Miss Gaping Hole.
Regina's Gaping Void.
That's actually the void, my gaping hole. That's where it comes from.
Regina's middle name is Gaping.
Gaping. Imagine it was.
Regina Gaping Void.
I should change my name.
You don't have to change it. You just have to start telling people your middle name.
True.
It's Gaping.
You're right as fuck. Well, I don't have anything else for you guys today. And we saw our story. So I guess we'll call it a night earlier today. Because Razor is in pain and she has to go take pictures. And shit.
Oh, I have all the time.
Yeah.
You've got all the time. I have one more story.
Oh, one more story before we go.
I have like a whole like list that I can pull from.
Oh, bitch, she got a whole list. Okay.
She got a list. She's got a list.
Lay it on us.
Alright. So this one is called Invisible Sprinting Humanoids. Yeah. Working as a police motorway patrol woman in Portsmouth, England, I'm frequently confronted with situations that are both bizarre and unnerving. However, the incident that occurred on the 25th of November last year is by far the most unusual of them all. During a routine speed camera setup in the city around 6:30 p.m., at which time it was completely dark, our speed trap picked up random tracings of non-existent objects hurtling past at 30 to 40 miles per hour. The devices are not actually known to malfunction, so we trained the camera on the road surface to see what we picked up. Sitting in the back of the patrol van, we were shocked to discover on the screen that the camera was picking up what can only be described as human figures, running up and down the street approximately 40 feet away from the vehicle, only barely visible through the night vision filter. They were of average height, had a silvery hue, and were sprinting up and down the central reservation, the dividing surface between two opposite lanes on a motorway, repeatedly and very fast. I admit I did not exit the vehicle to investigate, but apparently I didn't have to. Only about 10 feet away at the side of the road, one of these silvery entities just appeared on the screen. Female, approximately 6 foot and standing motionless facing away from the van. She was dressed in scantily clad clothing, not unlike that a young woman on an evening out may wear. I was extremely freaked out, especially considering that leaning out of the window, there was absolutely no evidence of anyone standing that close to the vehicle. As the first vehicle, only 5 minutes from the first sighting, drove past, all visible evidence of the entities had vanished. Nothing occurred from that time till the end of my duty at 9 p.m. And yet, when I played back the footage on the camera, the silvery objects and the woman are not on the tape. Obviously, I did not report the incident, but friends and fellow officers agree that it is highly unusual, and none of them had experienced anything of the like before.
Spooky.
Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
Have you seen the videos of, like, they're like street cameras, and it's like, they're normally like facing towards intersections, and like one car is driving, and then it looks like it gets hit, but like there's nothing there.
Yes, and then like things
There's
disappear
like
and shit.
big collision, and there's like no car hitting them.
That is weird. Have you seen the one where like this lady's crossing and she's about to get hit by a car, and they're like, there's this man and then there's this flash, and then they both disappear?
That one. He like zooms in and like saves her.
Yeah.
And then moves away.
And there's like this flash of light, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Do you think that's what this is?
Maybe. What if they're like superheroes or aliens or something?
I don't know. It's like a secret society living amongst us.
You know, if that were true, I'd be really mad that I wasn't part of it, and that I'd be
Right.
I'd be really pissed because I have no
Not
superpowers and they actually exist. Well, bitch, I just got the timer for 2 minutes left. So you were right on time, bitch. So everyone
Perfect.
who joined us on Facebook and on Instagram, thank you so much. If you guys want the whole experience and just skip through our bullshit and just want the stories and the pictures and shit, I will post it. I will upload this on YouTube sometime this week when I remember and I'm not drunk. But yeah.
In our DMs, like, post it.
And we'll post it on our DMs. I'll post this one on Instagram too. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us today for Spooky Storytime episode 6. And we can have guests now, so we can work on that.
We can have guests now.
We can have guests
That was
now.
exciting.
I know. So that's exciting. So we might reach out to some of you motherfuckers to join us. So keep an eye out. But thank you so much. Bitch, go take your pictures. I love you. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.